Thank you, Elizabeth. Can you hear me now? I think I was muted before. Okay, perfect. Good morning again, and thank you for having me. As Elizabeth said, my name is Duke Extra. I'm a spokesperson for Florida Power and Light Company, FPL. Um, and I really appreciate this opportunity to be a part of this meeting with the town of Miami Lakes. And I'll spend just a couple of minutes discussing our FPL Main Street Recovery Credit Program and its goal of helping small businesses. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you all. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we want you to know that FPL is committed to supporting all of our customers during the COVID-19 pandemic, while doing our part to rebuild our economy and move Florida forward. And that's why we launched our FPL Main Street Recovery Program. Despite how unpredictable and disruptive COVID-19 has been, one thing remained and continues to remain clear. We're all in this together, and we're committed to finding solutions for those in need. So as some of you may know, in mid-March of last year, FPL immediately implemented special COVID-19 policies, including offering payment extensions, postponing disconnections, and waiving fees. And we never stopped working to find innovative ways to help our customers most in need. So offering new bill credits to small businesses and independent stores that make up the fabric of our communities is one more way that FPL has been helping to rebuild our economy and move Florida forward. So as I said, the goal of the Main Street Recovery Program is helping businesses. And through this program, it provides operational and development support to small businesses impacted by COVID-19. Qualifying businesses will receive a monthly 10% credit based on the prior month's energy portion of their bill for the duration of the program. And this is available through the end of 2021. So establishments in FPL's service area that are eligible to apply for the program include new small businesses that were inactive for at least 6 consecutive months after March of 2020, and existing small businesses operating in federally designated opportunity zones. So for that eligibility would apply to non-demand commercial accounts, and you can simply review the energy portion of your FPL bill to determine if that applies to your FPL account. It will state on the bill itself non-demand on that portion. All right, and the application process is fairly simple. Eligible customers interested in applying for the program can visit us online at fpl.com/Main Street Recovery. You can fill out the application. It's very intuitive and very straightforward. And whether you're approved or denied, FPL will follow up to let you know via an email to confirm. All right, and once approved, FPL will begin issuing the bill credits to eligible small businesses, business customers on their next business cycle. All right, so this was a program that, in the midst of the pandemic, FPL sought permission from our state regulators, the Florida Public Service Commission, who approved this program for these small businesses. So again, FPL understands how vital small businesses are to Florida's $1 trillion annual economy and local communities. And we believe that this program is just one more way FPL is helping to rebuild our economy and move Florida forward. So we have several programs that were targeted for residential customers and also our business customer population. Does anyone have any questions?
I don't see any questions on social media, Duke. I'm not sure if you received any prior to the beginning of the webinar.
I did not.
Thank you, Duke, for your wonderful presentation. Next, we have Audrey Polo.
Thank you for having me.
After graduating with honors from Boston University with a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Political Science, 2005, Audrey attended St. Thomas University School of Law, where she graduated in December 2007. During her studies at St. Thomas, she was selected as a clinical legal intern for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and served as a judicial law clerk for the Honorable Frank A. Shepard in the Third Circuit Court of Appeal. Audrey has been a member of the Florida Bar since 2009 and is also a member of the United States District Court for the Southern and Middle Districts of Florida since 2010. In 2012, she was admitted to practice law in the District of Columbia, where she served as a special education attorney and represented hundreds of parents of children with disabilities or suspected of having a disability to ensure all local education agencies were complying with federal laws. She is also a member of the Cuban American Bar Association, Coral Gables Bar Association, and past president of the Miami Lakes Bar Association. Prior to practicing the nation's capital, Audrey worked in a boutique civil litigation law firm that concentrated in personal injury, including automobile and motorcycle accidents, uninsured motorist claims, premises liability, wrongful death cases, and general negligence actions resulting in injury, scarring, loss of earning capacity, and pain and suffering. Audrey joined Jimenez and Carroll nearly 6 years ago, where she continues to handle all types of personal injury matters as well as first-party insurance litigation cases ranging from comprehensive and collision denials, theft, fire, hurricanes, wind damage, as well as all homeowners coverage cases. And Audrey, the screen is all yours now.
Hey, good morning, Miami Lakes. Thank you, Elizabeth, for that wonderful introduction. As you said, my name is Audrey Polo. I'm super excited to be here today, chatting and giving the town of Miami Lakes a little bit of information. As Elizabeth mentioned, I'm a property claims attorney. I'm an insurance litigator, and what that means in layman's terms, I represent homeowners against insurance companies when they deny, delay, or underpay your claims. And today's first order of business for the town of Miami Lakes is to locate your insurance policies. That may mean you gotta look through some boxes and some drawers, or it may mean that you're gonna contact your insurance agent, but we definitely want to have a copy of your insurance policy because this is your contract with the insurance company. And like any other contract you've ever signed, there's duties and obligations on both sides. So I want to spend the beginning portion to talk about a little bit of those duties and on the homeowner side, as well as the duties that the insurance company has by issuing you this policy. So as a homeowner, one of the most important duties that we have under your policy is to notify your insurance company timely of any loss in your home. So especially a hurricane, right? With a hurricane, we know when they make landfall, but they don't always, the damages to your home aren't always immediate. So it is important, that we notify our insurance companies of any damage to our home. And what does that mean? Within a reasonable time after you become aware that there's damage in your home. And this is very important because your claim could easily be denied for failure to timely report your damages to your home. But with that said, before you call your insurance company, I urge you to call your insurance attorney, right? Because there's going to be a lot of questions and we want to make sure that a claim, even a hurricane claim, is reported in the light most favorable to the homeowner. The second duty that you have as a homeowner is you have to mitigate your damages. What does that mean? You have to minimize your damages. This means, folks, that we can't just sit back and relax and wait for the insurance company to fix our problems. You can't sit back and let your property get worse. You have an active duty under your policy to act, right? What does that mean? After a hurricane, let's say that water got into your property. You have two options: grab out, the good old Cuban bucket and mop up as much water as you can. We can contact a water mitigation company to dry out, but we have to protect our property from further damage. Why? Because where there's water, there's mold, and the problem can just get worse and worse, okay? Now, the insurance company has some duties to the homeowner as well. They have to, not only does the homeowner have a duty to timely report the claim, but the insurance company has a duty to timely respond to your claim. They have to determine if there's coverage. They have to take the necessary steps to resolve it. And they have to send someone out there to your home to look at these damages. Per the policy and per Florida statute, insurance companies have 90 days to investigate your claim. That's 90 days, folks, not 90 months, not 90 years. So it's really, really important that you have an advocate on your side to keep track of all of these things so that they don't unnecessarily delay your claims. So after those 90 days, the insurance company has to do two things. They have to acknowledge coverage and issue some sort of payment, or they'll issue you a letter denying your claim. Now, I urge you, Town of Miami Lakes, do not, I repeat, do not sign any type of release or document if you are not absolutely satisfied with the money that they are paying you for your damages. Right? The goal of this, the purpose of that money is to put your home in the condition that it was prior to the hurricane or any other type of loss. And if you are not satisfied with that money because it's not going to put Humpty Dumpty back together again, then I urge you not to sign a release before seeking and speaking to an attorney. Okay. The second thing is, if you get a letter in the mail with some sort of a denial saying, even if it's a hurricane claim, right? We've gone out there, we've inspected, and unfortunately, we've concluded our investigation and we will not be issuing coverage. So we're denying your claim. Do not take no for an answer, Town of Miami Lakes. I urge you to get a second opinion, right? Have an attorney, give me a call, have an attorney, read that letter so that we can kind of discuss what your options are, because you don't have to take no for an answer. Now, what do your policies actually cover? Your policies, remember, are designed to cover sudden losses, right? Things that happen unexpectedly. A hurricane is obviously a big one, right? An unexpected loss, but your policy covers other things as well. Let's say you're out on vacation and you come back after being away for a few days and you walk into a puddle of, water all over your house. You can have a plumbing loss. You can have a fire. It could be a windstorm that doesn't necessarily become a hurricane. You can have lightning claims. I actually just had 3 doors down from my in my home this week. Lightning struck my neighbor and literally tore off half of his roof and burnt half of the wall. I mean, lightning claims they're few and far in between, but they happen and they are covered. So your standard HO3 policies essentially cover everything unless it's specifically excluded. So I want to talk to you a little bit today about the different types of coverages that you should be on the lookout for. Coverage A is your dwelling. This is the most important coverage in the sense that if we had to rebuild your home, let's say that God willing, none of this happens, but in a hurricane especially, they can be very devastating. And some of these, if I know that some of you and maybe all of you have lived through Andrew, and we know how devastating that hurricane was. If we had to rebuild your house, coverage A would be the limit of what the insurance company would be paying, okay? Coverage B is for other structures. Let's say that you have a pool. These are structures that are on your property, but not connected to your actual, the structure of your property, the dwelling itself. Let's say you have a pergola. Let's say anything that is not connected to your property, but you have it outside on your property. Coverage C is personal property, right? If we were to flip your home upside down, shake it, what would fall out of it? all of your personal property that is covered under your contents, under coverage C. And coverage D is important. It's coverage for additional living expenses. Let's say that you lost the use of your kitchen due to a fire and you had to eat out every single day. That would be covered under coverage D. Let's say that after a hurricane, they have to do a lot of construction to get your house back together, but you can't live in your home during that construction. Coverage D would pay for you to stay at a hotel while that construction is ongoing. So while insurance companies cover a lot and it is important to have certain coverages, you must be on the lookout for exclusions, right? Because I know our insurance policies, and I don't think I read mine before I did this for a living, but they average about 60 pages, right? And I would say the first, 10, 20 pages tell you everything they cover. And then those last 30, 40 pages, they tell you everything they don't cover. So it's important to watch out for certain limitations. Water damage exclusions or $10,000 limitations for water damage. That can be scary because water damage is the #1 type of damage that could be caused to your home after a sudden loss. We want to make sure that you're covered for that. Some policies have plumbing exclusions. Again, plumbing is it's such a common type of loss, right? That we want to make sure that that is covered in your policy. We also wanted to be on the lookout for managed repair programs in your specific policies, because sometimes what that means is the insurance company can elect to send their own folks in there to fix your property and not give you the actual money and the ability to hire reputable contractors to actually put your home in the condition that it was before. So you want to make sure that these are some of the things that you're on the lookout for. And so, some things are changing for homeowners as of July 1st. I'm not sure how much or how little you know about this, but the governor just signed a new law that goes into effect on July 1st. And it changes a few things for homeowners. That new law will reduce the amount of time that we have as homeowners to file a claim. It reduces it from 3 years to 2 years for any and all types of claims. Hurricanes, plumbing, fires, anything. We have 2 years from the date that it happens to file it. Now, that doesn't mean to wait the 2 years, right? Because remember, one of our duties that I talked about earlier, you have a duty to timely report your damages. But this is a big deal because we want to make sure that we are not missing this new statute of limitation. Additionally, as the state of the law today, it's under Florida 627.428, it states that if you, the homeowner, need to hire a lawyer because an insurance company denied or underpaid your claim, and you prevail, meaning I can get you $1 more above and beyond what the insurance company was paying you before, then my fees, my entire bill, is paid by the insurance company. This is obviously a wonderful protection for homeowners, right? Because right now, you're not in a position where not only are you having to pay for damages, but then you'd have to pay for a lawyer as well to help you get that money. But all of that is changing, folks, after July 1st. The new law will compensate attorneys based on the cost and recovery of what was offered prior to litigation. And there's essentially a fee schedule that will now be required, will now be in place. What this means is that lawyers in my field, now I'm required to do math. And it also means that, attorneys are going to be a little bit pickier about what types of cases they take because, now the insurance company is not necessarily footing the bill. So this can have some impact for homeowners, but it's still going to be very, very important for you to have someone on your side. I always say insurance companies, and I don't want this to be a bashing of the insurance companies by any means. Insurance companies can be very wonderful, and this is why we pay for them monthly, but they're not in the business of paying claims, and they have a group of folks, teams, they have engineers, architects, general contractors, adjusters, everything looking at these things. And so I urge you not to walk through any hurricane claim on your own. You know, it's no secret that hurricane season is well underway. I know last season we dodged a lot of bullets, thankfully. There's a lot going on in the Atlantic already. It's set to be a very active season. And so, I always say that it takes a village, and I urge you to have me as part of that village. I've been handling these claims for the past 6 years. I am very well aware and on top of the law in terms of the tactics that sometimes insurance companies can use. And so it's just very important that you have someone on your side to bring these claims to educate you, essentially, and make sure that these claims, if and when you have to file them, they're filed in the light most favorable to you. So, just kind of a little bit of a recap. I want you to locate your policies, keep them safe. If you don't feel like reading them and you're not too sure what they cover, feel free to contact our offices. I am happy to review your policy, and I know exactly what to look for and can really educate you so that you can make sure that you are adequately protected. We want to make sure you want to verify your coverages. You want to ensure that your deductibles are not so high that it doesn't even make it feasible for you to have a claim in the event that you do suffer damage after a hurricane. And one of the tips that I always give my homeowners, especially before we have a hurricane, is to take photographs and videos of your property right now, as it is today, right? Because if a hurricane hits, it's really important that you are able to show the insurance company the condition of your home before the hurricane hit. Because one of the main reasons for denial is pre-existing damage. It was already there. And so that's how the property was before, and we're not on the hook to pay for it. And so if we can show that, no, my house was in excellent condition and this was caused by the storm, that makes for a much more viable claim and gives you a lot more peace of mind. So, and last but certainly not least, I urge you to give me a call. Take down your notepads. You can reach me directly on my cell phone. It is 786-367-6236. I pride myself on representing homeowners and helping them navigate a process that is rarely understood and can be very complicated. So please, I hope that South Florida is spared and that we are all safe. But in the event of a hurricane, if you have questions or concerns about a potential claim, do not hesitate to contact me. And thank you. And if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer any you have.
I don't see any questions on social media, and I'm not sure if you received any emails prior to the webinar with any questions.
I will look now, but I don't believe that I have. Nope.
It's George Alvarez. I have a quick question.
Yes. Hi, George.
How you doing? Thank you very much for this, and to Duke as well. As far as you mentioned coverage A, B, and C, is any of those, other than percentages, is any of that negotiable when purchasing a policy, or is that pretty much you shop what's available and that's it?
Yeah, it's not. It's based, a lot of it is based, especially the dwelling could be based on the market value of your home. So a lot of those things are, I don't want to say negotiable, but for instance, oftentimes I see for coverage B, C, and D especially, a lot of folks would just have the minimum. There's no minimum requirement, or they won't, either have the bare minimum or just won't have any at all, because they say, oh, well, for other structures, I just have a small shed back there. I don't really need it. And maybe that's the case. And you don't, you kind of want to assess, like, let's say that you have a lot of valuables in your home. You want to make sure that, you kind of up the contents, and coverage D is a big one that I don't think a lot of folks know about. And I often in the policies that I review, I see them very low. And we all know, how, especially with everything going up, staying at a hotel a night, has gotten quite, very expensive. And so that's somewhere where I would urge the agent to see if they can, kind of price you and up it a little bit. Sometimes the difference in premium is just not that much, and it's worth the peace of mind to have them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, it seems like we don't have any more questions. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Duke. Thank you, Audrey, for both of your wonderful presentations and informative ones. We hope you guys took some learning lessons with it, and their contact. If you guys want to put your contact in the messaging for any questions that the audience might have. But we want to thank you again, and we hope everyone has a great day.